Hello guys, my name is Evans and welcome to this last and final part of the tutorial that we started looking at for the June 2016 paper 3-2. In this tutorial I'm going to focus on the last part of the exam, which is on presentation notes or training notes. And we in the last video we're looking at web authoring, and we did have our files already set up for us to do that web authoring. And again, you'll find the link to download this file just below this video, and then you guys can work through the files. I've already included the mark scheme, the question papers, and the files inside that zipped folder, and you guys can follow along and practice through. Okay, so the scenario is that you're going to produce some notes for an audience of trainees learning to develop web pages for the Goa Elephant Sanctuary. Okay, step 27, examine the file 1632training.rtf and open it in appropriate software package. Okay, so let's go ahead and examine that file. Okay, the file in question is this one. So I'll double click it and examine it. So automatically you can see the hierarchies that you find there. This is level 1, then the lower level, then this is a higher level, lower level, lower level, lower level. And what you have these with the headings is that such a file can be imported in PowerPoint. Now what happens is that the higher levels, okay, or the first level if you want, is the one that becomes a slide title, and then the next level becomes a slide heading, and then the other level becomes a slide point or bullet point. Okay, so it's very important that you understand what is happening here for you to know which package you're going to use to import this in. Okay, so files that are prepared in this way can be imported into your PowerPoint presentation, and they will sort of appear as different slides because of the different levels that you have. So let me go ahead and open PowerPoint, and perhaps let me just close this other file and go to blank presentation, and go to file and open, browse, and let me go to my desktop where the files are saved as files. Okay, so you notice right here that I don't have the all files displayed, and just click here and you see that all files will be displayed. So please don't feel intimidated where you don't see anything here, just because it's set to all PowerPoint presentation, but currently we don't have a PowerPoint presentation. So select all files and you will be able to see it there. So let's go on training and click on OK, and you will see that we have these files imported into our slide, and there are just 5 of them. Okay, so the next thing we're supposed to do is to make sure that our name, center number, and content number are placed within these notes. Okay, so and then replace the text, whatever. So let's do this part. Let's put our name in there. So I'm gonna put that in the footer. Sorry about that, I was watching something on YouTube. Okay, so I'm gonna have to what do I want to do? Okay, the name in PowerPoint. So I'm going to insert header and footer, and under footer I'm going to put Chikasa Evans ZM 556. Okay, and I'll say apply to all, and so yeah, done with that. Make sure that your name, center number, and content number are placed within these notes. Okay, done that. Next, I want to replace the text answer here with a suitable method reducing the dimensions of an image for use in a web page. Okay, So we need to know the different methods that you can reduce the dimensions of an image. So let me just pause here for a while and state that usually when you're editing a picture, for example, or an image, there'll be basically two methods rather that you can use to edit the picture dimensions. The first one is that you can use a graphics package such as Photoshop or Picture Manager or whatever to reduce the dimensions of that image, and then save that image and then use it in your web page. Secondly, you'll be able to change the dimensions of the web page, or rather of the image, using the HTML tags. Okay, so for example, you can say image source, then equal to then the name of the image, and then the dimensions width equal to this, height is equal to that. Okay, and each of these methods have got their own limitations or advantages and disadvantages, and you need to know that also. So let's go ahead and go to our slide and replace answer one here with methods of reducing the dimensions of an image. So let's go back to this slide. Okay, so it says describe the methods. Okay, so the first method actually is using a graphics software package. Okay, when you use a graphics software package such as maybe Photoshop to edit the dimensions, okay, and save the image. Okay, what am I saying? Save the image. Okay, now this is very important, guys, that when you edit that image you need to save it as a different file name or replace the original file. Okay, and there are advantages and disadvantages of doing this, and I'll be able to share with you in a while. Okay, so the other one is actually using the HTML source or tags, if you want, HTML source or tag. Okay, e.g. you can say, for example, something like image then source equal to, let's say the name of the image is help.jpg, and then you can give it dimensions such as width equal to let's say 100 pixels, and height equal to, let's say 80 pixels. Okay, so this is how you can change that. Okay, so two methods that you can use. You can use the HTML tags to change the image tag. Yeah, let's just say HTML image tag here, because we are using the image tag here to do that. Okay, so this is that. Next, replace the text evaluation here with an evaluation of each of these methods for use in the development of the Goa Sanctuary website, including your evaluation, which is the best or most appropriate method. So you need to conclude which one you think is appropriate. So let's come up here with the evaluation rather. Okay, so for example, one of the benefits of editing an image using a graphics package is that so let's start with using a graphics package. Makes the images load faster. Okay, load faster in the browser. So remember, we were told when we started in the previous video that we needed to use markup that is going to make the pages be efficient, because the people that would be using this web page that we developed in the last video under web authoring section, they were some of them were going to use a slow internet. Okay, so one of the methods that you can use to reduce that is that you can change the dimensions of your images, the resolutions and all, the resolution rather, and all, and make sure that the image is able to load faster. So the smaller the resolution for an image, or the dimension for an image, the faster it is able to load. Okay, so using a graphics package, actually this is a better method than using the HTML code, because the HTML code, the image will be as big as it is in the folder. It is at the point of being loaded that it is going to be reduced to the dimensions that are stated in the HTML tag. Okay, so using a graphics package makes the image load faster. Okay, so this is an evaluation, but okay, the quality of the picture or image may be reduced. Okay, because you are tampering with the size of this image, you may end up reducing the quality of this picture. Also, you can also include things like but yeah, let me just put this in a separate point. Yeah, let's just say, but the quality of the picture may be reduced. Yeah, you need to have many points. This is a separate point on its own, and the point needs to be clear. Also, when you use HTML tags, the quality of the image is enhanced. Okay, in other words, you have good quality of the image, but it takes long to load the image. Okay, it takes long to load the image. Okay, the quality of the image may be reduced after resizing using a graphics package. Okay, that makes more sense. Graphics package. Okay, so remember we are told that the information that we were given is that these guys that will be using the internet, some of them will have slow internet, so you need to perform a proper analysis of what method would be best. Okay, so let's put in conclusion, not collusion, conclusion, due to the fact that some users may have slow internet, the graphics package method of reducing the size of an image or the dimensions of an image would be better, maybe, or preferred. Okay, so we are saying that because we want to accommodate the people who have slow internet, we cannot afford to go and use HTML tags where we have very big images being sent over the internet, and then at the point at which they are to be displayed on the user's browser, that's when they are being resized. Okay, so this is not supposed to be that way. So let's go ahead and okay, so I think we are done with this one. Let's go ahead and check the next question. Replace the text answer to here with a number of bits per channel in a JPEG image. Okay, so this is very important, guys. I don't know if you guys have learned about color depths, how there are different color depths that you have when you work with images. Okay, so I would have loved to prepare a lesson, just a short lesson on color depths, so that you guys you understand what I'm talking about here. But I don't know if it's possible, if you guys can just allow me briefly just to explain something briefly about the color depths that we have, the 24 bits and the the 16 bits and 48 bits and so on and so forth. So I'm not just going to take a lot of time doing that, but I can just share something briefly with you. Okay, so all images that are JPEG, they have a color depth. Maybe let me put a blank PowerPoint just for the sake of this. Yeah, so all images that have JPEG as the extension, they have a color depth of 24 bits. Okay, color depth of 24 bits. Okay, color depth of 24 bits, and these bits, they are encoded in such a way that they are 8 bits. Okay, let me just put, they are 8 bits per available channel. Okay, there are 8 bits per available channel, and so if you need, for example, lots of editing to an image, you can change the color depth before starting to reduce the image. Okay, so if you reduce further, like the color depth, you have an image turn to blur, not blur, blur, which means the image is somewhat not very clear because the color depth have been reduced too much. Okay, so for example, a channel or an image which has got 48 bits of color depth. Okay, how many bits do you think per channel this if the one that has got 24 bits has 8 bits per channel, how many bits do you think the one that has got 48 bits would have? Right, you guessed right, 16 bits. Okay, 16 bits per channel. Okay, so 16 bits per channel. And what you would notice about this is that the higher the number of bits, or let's say color depth, the deeper the color depth, the bigger the size of the file. Okay, the bigger the size of the file. So that again you need to know. Okay, so most graphic software packages, they allow you to modify the color depth of images. I have not gone into detail in searching about the graphics packages that exist, but I know that Photoshop does allow you to do that, and other packages also do have that. I think maybe CorelDRAW could have that, but that is not important. So this is just something little about color depth, and you guys, you do well to research about other bits such as the PNG. Okay, all I know about the PNG is that it does not support the 48 bit and all, but JPEG would do that. Okay, so let's come back to our question here. Why do I keep on coming to this page? Our question here says that replace the text answer to here with the number of bits per channel in a JPEG image. So a JPEG image has color bits of color depth of 24 bits. Okay, so let me just write here, JPEG has color depth of 24 bits, and this is equivalent to 8 bits per channel for a JPEG image. Okay, so let's go back to our PowerPoint, and on the next slide, a JPEG image has a color depth of 24 bits, which is equivalent to 8 bits per channel. Okay, so this is what we're saying. It is equivalent to 8 bits per channel. So the number of bits, if it was 48 bits, then it's 16 bits per channel, but this is 8 bits per channel. Okay, and then the next question says that replace answer 3 here with the most appropriate file format for still and moving images that Go Elephant Sanctuary should use within the website. Now you know about animations and stuff, and there are some pictures or images that may sort of animate a bit, okay, and you call those as the graphical images. Okay, so let's come back here. So the GIF image actually allows GIF, okay, I don't know if it's graphical interchange format, but it does allow images sort of to animate. Okay, so you guys, you should be aware with this. If you, especially if you're a photo fanatic, this should be something that is easy for you. Okay, now replace the text layer with the name of the layer that completes each sentence. Okay, the name of the layer that completes each sentence, and we're going to come back here. Now the name of the layer that completes each sentence. Now remember, there are 3 layers that we have. Okay, let me just do this. We have 3 layers, and these layers, we have the presentation layer, and we have these layers, guys, they are for HTML. Okay, if I didn't mention, you guys, you know, some of the things I assume that you know up to this stage, but an HTML web page would have 3 layers. One layer is the presentation layer, the other layer is the behavior layer, and then you would also have the content layer. Okay, so content layer, behavior layer are the 3 layers that you find on a web page. Now let's briefly look at what each of them does, so that we are able to do that. So the content layer is actually the layer that is responsible for the HTML tags that appear to the user. Okay, so the things like body, H1, hyperlinks, and I mean, they're not hyperlinks, but what else? Just the HTML tags that you find, they constitute a content layer. Okay, the body of an HTML, yeah, let me just say the body of an HTML actually constitutes the layer for the content layer. Okay, so text editors that you have, they actually work with the content layer. The presentation layer is actually where your CSS styles come in, your cascading style, because they affect the presentation, how your HTML appears to the users. Okay, so that is to do with the presentation layer. Okay, and then the other layer, which is the behavior layer, it is not so much common here because we don't so much use it at this level, but maybe at A level they may be using it. The behavior layer has to do with the script languages, okay, like JavaScripts and stuff like that, that you put into programming. These can change things like buttons, the way the buttons behave on a web page, where you can interact with the web page. Okay, you can have some scripting languages, okay, like you guys can chat with somebody on a web page, and all those things. Okay, so those have to do with the behavior layer. Okay, so we can now go ahead with this few understanding and try to decode what each of these layers is. Okay, so 1, the layout of the web page is created in dash layer, and like I said, the body of an HTML thing is created in the content layer. Okay, so let's say content layer. Okay, and then you also have another layer that contains the coding. Okay, so what layer do you think would contain the coding? Okay, I'm sure you guessed right. I was even giving you time to think about it. Okay, so the behavior layer, like we said, this is where the programming actually goes. Okay, the practical programming actually goes. Okay, so you talk about the JavaScript. Okay, you code for that. You talk about the PHP codes and all. They can all go here because they will affect the behavior of your web page. Okay, and also hyperlinks, like we said, an example of the HTML tags that we can use. Okay, so a hyperlink is a separate tag, so this is part of the content layer as well. And lastly, we have the layer that contains color definition for a web page, and like I said, this is the one that has to do with the presentation. Okay, the presentation. So the presentation there, this is where you find the cascading style sheets and all. Okay, so let's go ahead. Okay, so we're done with that. Print out, make sure that you have entered your name, contact number on your notes for the trainees. Okay, then print your evidence document. And yeah, did we print evidence document? No, we've not. So you can go ahead and print your evidence document. And next thing is make sure that you have entered your center number, contact number on your evidence document. So I don't know the way they have set up these pages and the way we're supposed to print out number 4. We're supposed to save and print your notes for the trainees. Okay, so they have not yet given us how these are supposed to be printed. So you can print them as individual slides, one slide per page, or you can print them as let me see, you can find there as to place in the evidence document. No ways. Okay, so you can just print them as they are. So to print slides, let me just, maybe for the sake of you guys, sometimes you're asked to print 6 slides per page, or 5 slides per page, or not 5 4 slides per page, or 2 slides per page as a handout. Okay, so the feature where you can change how many slides that you're going to print per page. Okay, so it should be let me see, it should be okay here, 4-page slides. And then you can select whether you want 6 slides per page and it will look like that, or whether you want 2 slides per page, it will look like that, or whether you want so 2 slides per page looks like that. Okay, and whether you want that. So in my case, I can print this as 2 slides per page because we have not been told specifically to print it as 2 slides per page or 3 slides per page. Not why 3? 4 slides per page. Okay, they are supposed to be even numbers except for the first one. Okay, so guys, this was a section on presentation, and I hope you guys you've learned 1 or 2 things. And if you don't understand some stuff, just rewind the video and go and watch again. And in the next video, if I do have the opportunity, I will record a paper 3 one, but I'm not promising that because I have an exam that I'm preparing for on Tuesday. I have to make sure that the computer lab is set up for the guys who will be writing on Tuesday at my school. Testing, making sure that every computer is actually working perfectly. Okay, so I may not have time to record that, but you guys, I wish you all the best in your exam. Remember to subscribe and share my videos with your friends in your school and all. Okay, so thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video if God allows.